Hey everybody, Emma here, also known as eightvinyllow, bringing you all another video. Today's video is going to be kind of just a general update, me blabbering about music type video. I don't really know which direction this is going to end up going in, so just kind of bear with me through this. I hope to not make it drag on too long, but we'll kind of see where this goes. I hope you all are doing all right. I hope that all of you who participate in Record Store Day had a fantastic Record Store Day. I know that I was kind of sitting through and scrolling through different videos, which brings me to kind of the first point of discussion here. Did I do Record Store Day? What did I get at Record Store Day? Where are my Record Store Day haul videos? I know for the past couple years that I have been a member of the vinyl community. I have posted my Record Store Day haul videos. I haven't really missed one. I did go to Record Store Day. It was kind of a last minute decision. However, I only picked up one Record Store Day release in the store. Iggy Pop, the live Iggy Pop release. This is, what's this from? Iggy Pop live at the Channel, Boston, from like 1980 something. 1988, that kind of dragged on there. Like I said, there were some cool releases, nothing that I felt like I needed. Also trying to save money. Really, my interests for that drop were UK releases. There were two Bert Jansch releases that I really wanted and still do want. I'm still looking for those. Usually the UK releases, a couple end up in the US. I haven't found that to be the case with these two releases. So I think I'm going to have to get them shipped from the UK, which is one, going to cost more money just because of shipping, and two, going to take a little while. So bear with me. Eventually, I hope to have those two Bert Jansch releases, but it is what it is. Another thing that people kept asking me about was the Mighty Groundhogs by the Groundhogs, Who Will Save the World, comic book, very cool release for the Groundhogs. I already have that one. Yes, the Record Store Day edition would have been cool, the colored vinyl, the inserts, things like that. I already have a copy, so maybe it's something that I track down later on, but for right now, I am happy with the copy, the original that I have. But yeah, I mean, it's not that, I've been vocal on this channel. I'm a fan of Record Store Day. I know that there are people out there that have their own personal issues with it and problems with it, and that's totally fine. I totally understand where they're coming from. But as for me personally, I like it. I enjoy it. I'm going to keep going to them. The July drop, there are a handful of releases that I want. The Lou Reed, the part 2 of Rory Gallagher's Cleveland Calling. Last Record Store Day, they had a fabulous part 1 intimate acoustic live radio broadcast, Rory Gallagher, Cleveland Calling. So if you haven't tracked down that part 1 and you think you're a fan of Rory or whatever, you need to grab that because that's incredible. So I'm really looking forward to the part 2. I think the part 2 is a more electric set than it is acoustic. And then, like I said, the Lou Reed and maybe a couple of others. So we'll get to that drop when we get there, but as for this drop, nothing really exciting. One more thing that I forgot to mention, another UK release that I wanted from this drop is the Jacqueline release. And it's kind of an obscure, rare blues rock, blues psych, British blues album. In the British blues world, it's kind of that like rare oddity that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's kind of in that realm. So, of course, for my British blues collection, that was a must. The original has been on my want list for like 2 years now, but I kind of knew I was never going to get the original because they go for hundreds of dollars. So with the new reissue, that was the plan to pick up that UK Record Store Day reissue. But I ended up actually getting, here in the US, someone was selling a German reissue of that from the mid-2000s. So I picked that up. I don't know what it's going to sound like. I don't know if I'm going to regret getting that one over the UK Record Store Day release, but that way I didn't have to go through shipping internationally and all that jazz. So last Friday, I finally went to my first live, like full live music, live concert since the beginning of COVID. Right before COVID hit, I had like 5 concerts that were planned in the month of March and April of 2020. Well, we know what happened in the beginning of April 2020. And a lot of those shows consisted of the band The Nielsen Trust. Now, The Nielsen Trust, there's a Cheap Trick connection there. It's a family band. Rick Nielsen, the guitarist of Cheap Trick, him, his sons, Miles, who also has his own band, The Rested Hearts, which is fabulous, and Dax Nielsen, who on drums, who's now been the drummer for Cheap Trick for the last 10 years. They kind of formed their own band called the Nielsen Trust, where they play Cheap Trick songs, covers, some of Miles' songs, just kind of a fun night of rock music. They tell great stories. So as, you know, I'm the Cheap Trick girl. I was so excited when that was announced. I saw their first gig back in October 2019, and then they had this big, like, March, spring 2020 tour. Well, of course, that got thrown away. Finally, they had like an intimate showing where you had to sit at tables with your masks and this and that in early April. I went to that. That was fabulous. But on last Friday, finally a full concert, no restrictions. Obviously, people were, I was kind of keeping my distance away from people, but no restriction. I'm vaccinated anyways, doesn't matter. But no restrictions. It just felt so good to be back in that kind of concert setting. It was a total blast. They have a few more tour dates left for this June tour. If they're coming to a place near you, I think they're hitting up Ohio and maybe Pennsylvania over the next couple weeks. If you're a fan of Cheap Trick, you got to go check these guys out. They're amazing. I'll try to share some clips in this for you. So I went to that show. I have built, I think, a cool connection with Rick, and he seems to always get picks over to me, guitar picks. Of course, he's the pick guy. And I send these guitar picks in VCLT to people because I've collected so much over the years, but you can kind of see the handful of picks there. So that's just from one show, and that wasn't even a Cheap Trick show. That was the Nielsen Trust. I mean, you know that he played the heck out of these picks. A custom Nielsen Trust pick from Miles. And then opening for them was a band called Nick Perry and the Underground Thieves. And they're kind of your modern rock band. Nick Perry, I believe, was in some previous bands throughout the years. Here's a guitar pick that he got me, really cool. That's another band, modern music, modern rock music, that I would definitely recommend checking out. Again, Nick Perry and the Underground Thieves. I think they put out an album at the end of last year, or at least at some time recently. So they're a really fantastic band. They put on a great show, and I definitely recommend. Like I said, I just felt like kind of sharing those couple things, talking about some random music stuff, and all of that. So that's it for this video. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope I didn't put you to sleep, but it is what it is. That's all. Be well, stay safe, and I'll see you guys for my next video. Bye, guys.